is in. Touchdown.
I look at what's in front of me, don't focus on the other things. I know that if I'm struggling, that only leads to a tough for me. And I want and need something that could challenge me. Build up all my calluses, push through all their callousness. Becoming reckless, I'm ambitious and I'm restless, yeah. Was an apprentice but possessed a different engine. So I asked a lot of questions and I learned a lot of lessons, yeah. Got different weapons and I worked on my direction, yeah. We gon' hike through the flame, we gon' die with a name. We gon' fight through the pain, we gon' rise up and change. We gon' strive to make gains, cause we don't hide from the blame. I look at what's in front of me, don't focus on the other things. I know that if I'm struggling, that only leads to a tough for me. And I want and need something that could challenge me. Build up all my calluses, push through all their callousness. Becoming reckless, I'm ambitious and I'm restless, yeah. Was an apprentice but possessed a different engine. So I asked a lot of questions and I learned a lot of lessons, yeah. Got different weapons and I worked on my direction, yeah. We gon' hike through the flame, we gon' die with a name. We gon' fight through the pain, we gon' rise up and change. We gon' strive to make gains, cause we don't hide from the blame.
Come on winning goals in those vital moments. Pressure? What pressure? What goes through your mind?
Pressure? What pressure? Nah, it feels so good. So good to stand side by side with every single one of these girls throughout the whole tournament, and the staff that you don't see behind the scenes. It's incredible. And thank you to everyone that got out to support us, whether that's in Switzerland or here today. It's so fucking special.
We are live, so I will apologise for that language right there, but it's a moment, Chloe, obviously getting that medal around your neck again, and you was very strong in your saying that thank you to everyone who doubted me. You use that as motivation. So what's the motivation next?
Sell me lies, bitch, I ain't buying suit. If we ain't talking money, then
It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. Woo!
Chloe, congratulations, you're a European Championship winner. How does it feel?
Wow, this is amazing, what dreams are made of. Honestly, I can't put into words what this means to every single one of these girls. Growing up as a young girl, see how far the game's come, to then be here at Wembley to score the winner and to just share the pitch with such an amazing group of girls. I'm proud to wear this badge. My mother's from Dublin and my grandfather's from Omagh, so a bit of half-half, but yeah, England's bringing it home, so I'm so proud to wear this badge.
We're delighted for you. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bouchal, Ronaldo! Gonna throw, floats one end zone, Adams is in, touchdown!
I look at what's in front of me, don't focus on the other things. I know that if I'm struggling, that only leads to a job for me. And I want and need something that could challenge me. Build up all my calluses, push through all their callousness. Becoming reckless, I'm ambitious and I'm restless, yeah. Was an apprentice but possessed a different engine, so I asked a lot of questions and I learned a lot of lessons, yeah. Got different weapons and I worked on my direction, yeah. We gon' hike through the flame, we gon' die with a name. We gon' fight through the pain, we gon' rise up and change. We gon' strive to make gains, cause we don't hide from the blame. I look at what's in front of me, don't focus on the other things. I know that if I'm struggling, that only leads to a job for me. And I want and need something that could challenge me. Build up all my calluses, push through all their callousness. Becoming reckless, I'm ambitious and I'm restless, yeah. Was an apprentice but possessed a different engine. So I asked a lot of questions and I learned a lot of lessons, yeah. Got different weapons and I worked on my direction, yeah. We gon' hike through the flame, we gon' die with a name. We gon' fight through the pain, we gon' rise up and change. We gon' strive to make gains, cause we don't hide from the blame.
In those vital moments. Pressure? What pressure? What goes through your mind?
Pressure? What pressure? Nah, it feels so good. So good to stand side by side with every single one of these girls throughout the whole tournament, and the staff that you don't see behind the scenes. It's incredible. And thank you to everyone that got out to support us, whether that's in Switzerland or here today. It's so fucking special.
We are live, so I will apologise for that language right there, but it's a moment, Chloe, obviously getting that medal around your neck again, and you was very strong in your saying that thank you to everyone who doubted me. You use that as motivation. So what's the motivation next?
Sell me lies, bitch, I ain't buying suit. If we ain't talking money, then
It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. Woo!
Chloe, congratulations, you're a European Championship winner. How does it feel?
Wow, this is amazing, what dreams are made of. Honestly, I can't put into words what this means to every single one of these girls. Growing up as a young girl, see how far the game's come, to then be here at Wembley to score the winner and to just share the pitch with such an amazing group of girls. I'm proud to wear this badge. My mother's from Dublin and my grandfather's from Omagh, so a bit of half-half, but yeah, England's bringing it home, so I'm so proud to wear this badge.
We're delighted for you. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bouchal, Ronaldo! Gonna throw, floats one end zone, Adams is in, touchdown!
São 45 minutos para esse desafio, portanto não faltará muito seguramente para que tenhamos também os restantes 10 da seleção portuguesa que, além de Diogo Costa, serão lançados de início e serão titulares neste teste frente à Nigéria. Essa particularidade, já aqui falámos disso também antes do Mundial do Qatar, tinha sido a seleção africana a convidada de Portugal, na altura em Alvalade, goleada por 4-0. Hoje em Leiria veremos o que acontece. Ricardo, falavas da questão dos centrais, interrompi-te. Primeiro foi Renato Veiga contra o Chile, hoje Gonçalo Inácio, mas deduzo das vossas palavras que estão mais virados para o Renato ser titular, não é?
Sim, acredito.
Mas aí pela questão física, pela dimensão física, poderá fazer mais sentido ser o Renato a jogar diante do Congo?
Estamos mais virados, acredito, pelo pensamento do Martínez.
Sim.
Sim. Impor na defesa, acho que o Gonçalo constrói melhor, acho que o Renato, em termos defensivos, pode dar aqui outras características mais...
Estava a tocar nesse aspecto, que se calhar essa brecha e a saída do Pep deixou, mantém-se por sarar. Partilhas dessa visão, Ricardo?
Partilho, porque se nós...
Portugal ainda está um bocadinho órfão disso.
Sim, porque quando tinhas Pep e Ruben Dias, já sabias quem é que eram os centrais. Não havia aqui dúvidas nenhumas. E se olharmos para aquilo que tem sido o trajeto da seleção, sempre teve grandes centrais que impunham o máximo respeito. Estamos a falar aqui em off aquilo que eram as duplas de centrais da nossa seleção. Jorge Costa, Fernando Couto, Ricardo Carvalho, Jorge Andrade, Ricardo Carvalho e Pepe e Ruben Dias.
Aparentemente há aqui uma vontade muito grande de Martínez ter um central.
Tem tempos, em termos de diferenças de...
And in the meantime, we can enjoy Portugal against Nigeria. I'm curious to see how many of this starting lineup will be facing DR Congo in Texas on June the 17th. That's Portugal's first game in Group K. DR Congo and Uzbekistan, both World Cup debutants, placed in the same group as Portugal alongside Colombia. That'll be Martinez's final group stage match on the 28th of June. And on paper, it looks like a very, very winnable group for the Portuguese. And without looking too far ahead, it would mean a meeting with a third place side in the round of 32, and then quite potentially the winners of Group B in the round of 16, which, based on a bit of data diving before this game, looks like it could be Switzerland. So there might be a real path to make an impact on the tournament for Portugal. They've never won the World Cup, of course, reached the quarter-finals 4 years ago in Qatar. Their best performance since 2006, where they made it through to the semi-finals, matching their achievement from all the way back in 1966. They are regular competitors, those 7 consecutive World Cups. Not the same case at all for Nigeria. As I mentioned, they failed to qualify in 2022 and now this summer. That's the first time they've missed 2 in a row since 1990. Bit of an unusual twist because they lost to DR Congo in a penalty shootout in the CAF playoffs. And if they'd won that game, they'd be playing Portugal in a week's time. Football really is a funny old game at times. So, as we prepare to get underway here, the referee, Spanish Mateo Busquets, just having a quick word with Cristiano Ronaldo. As an all La Liga based team of officials this evening, Gustavo Correa is the 4th official. We do have VAR in operation as well. Valentin Gomez will be the man on the video screen. It's only the second meeting between these two teams. Portugal winning a friendly 4-0 back in 2022. Couple of goals for Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes. The Portugal squad absolutely littered with called upon by Eric Chelle, Ola Aina, Ademola Lookman, Victors Osimhen and Boniface, given an extended summer break. And that has just been confirmed that England against Costa Rica, subject to any potential further delays, but the current plan is now confirmed 10 PM start in Orlando. Anybody who's been following news on that and social media coverage would have seen the torrential rain that's been hammering down. Not ideal preparations, of course, for England. Take on Croatia in their first group game. I myself will be on commentary duty for that one. Really looking forward to seeing a rematch of the 2018 World Cup semi-final, where England famously lost out to Luka Modric and co. That's a 9 PM start on Wednesday the 17th of June. So, we are all set here. It's a packed out ground, one of the regular bases for the Portuguese national side in the west coast of Leiria. Portugal in their traditional off-red kit, with the main man up top, Cristiano Ronaldo, will get us underway, going from right to left. Nigeria in their change white shirts, white shorts, and light green socks. Good early pressure here from Nigeria's possession goes all the way back to Diogo Costa. And just clips it up towards the halfway line in the direction of Cristiano Ronaldo. Eventually smuggled out of play on the halfway line for a throw-in in favour of the home side. Vitinha. Two of the men in the Portugal engine room tonight, of course, recently crowned as defending Champions League winners. Vitinha and João Neves. Nuno Mendes on the bench as well. Nigeria already been forced back into their own half. Deli Bashiru there trying to make some headway on the edge of his own penalty. He was challenged by Ruben Diaz and eventually bounces out of play for a throw-in for Nigeria. Quickly taken by Alex Iwobi. Possession won back though by Portugal. Here's Ronaldo. Fires a goal! Just over the top from Portugal's captain. Blink of an eye there. Nigeria went from having possession to losing two quick-fire turnovers. A little over 20 yards out. Ronaldo spotted Okoye not quite in position. Lashes it over the top of the crossbar. It is Akpa to feed that down the line. Direction of Nandi, but it's Diogo Dalot that snuffs out the danger. They are two of the possible selection calls in Roberto Martinez's mind going into the start of the World Cup. Right back and left back, Diogo Costa in goal. Would imagine he will remain in position over Jose Sarr. Ignacio and Diaz in central defence. João Neves, Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, all key players. Bernardo Silva is in the mix as well. That will be big decision. Can of course remould his midfield and play with different attackers around Cristiano Ronaldo. Nelson Semedo there is pulled back by Alex Iwobi just inside the Nigeria half, bursting forward from right back. as his path, and he's away like a train down the right-hand side. On Yumachi claiming wasn't much he could do about it. Free kick taken quickly on halfway by Portugal. Here's Dallo at left back. Lovely ball up the flank. Chance here for Pedro Neto to get at Akpan. Haven't seen too much of the Portugal number 18 so far, and he's muscled out of that inside Nigeria's box. Chases back after Ndidi to win possession and fouls Ndidi. It's been the story of the game for both teams so far. Flashes of excitement in attack, but really poor decision making at the key times. Neto just the latest example of that. Wasted free kick forward by Nigeria as well. Ignacio just knocks that down for Diogo Dallo. João Neves. Diaz under pressure on the edge of his own box by Moses Simon. Finds Semedo. Trincao on the half turn. Back inside his own half of the field. That's not where he wants to be. Neither does Cristiano Ronaldo. Tick beyond 20 minutes here. Nice evenness about the game. Nigeria, despite not having much to look forward to. They've matched Portugal up to now. Even with this being a bit of a second string team. So this is not just Portugal's final friendly. This evening is the final round of major pre-World Cup international friendlies. England against Costa Rica coming up in around 45-50 minutes time. Will bring down the curtain on the warm-up and get us ready for the main event itself. Just in case you needed any reminder, it'll be all eyes on the Estádio Azteca tomorrow evening. Mexico against South Africa. The opening game of the 48-team 2026 FIFA World Cup. And we will, of course, have live audio coverage for you. Flash score will be your go-to right the way through the tournament. Wide-scale match coverage all the way from that first game right up until the final in mid-July. Fascinating competition is in store. Teams having to battle extra games, demanding weather conditions, heat and humidity. Hence that the established order might see a bit of a challenge. Portugal also impressive, but Morocco semi-finalists in 2022, first African team to reach the final four. Japan have impressed plenty in the last 12-18 months, so lots to look forward to. Portugal pour forward themselves here now. Lovely link up down this left-hand side. Dallo lets it run initially, wins it back on the dead ball line. Can he find a cut back here? Neto with the signal, Neto with the strike! And Portugal with the breakthrough. 23 minutes gone here. And the home side have the lead. Full credit to the tenacity of Diogo Dallo here. Initially looked as if he'd let that ball just run too far past him, but chases it down, keeps it in play in front of Akpan, right on the dead ball line. And Neto gives him the shout. Angled drive, left-footed, back across the face of goal. The Nigeria players are asking the question to Mateo Busquets of whether or not Dallo was offside when that ball initially was played. look as if there will be a review. Neto's third goal in 25 international appearances, and the goal stands. As both sides head off for a hydration break, we are going to take a quick break of our own here on Flash Score. 25 minutes gone. Pedro Neto's snapshot into the bottom corner has Portugal in front in their final pre-World Cup assignment. And we'll be back in just a moment or two for the remainder of So welcome back to our live friendly action here on Flash Score. Portugal's final examination before the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Pedro Neto giving them an advantage just before that first half hydration break. And of course, be a regular feature of matches at the World Cup. Demanding conditions in Canada, the USA and Mexico. Searching ball up towards the halfway line. Adams does really well just to step out there in front of Dallo. Can't quite link with the Nigerian midfield though. Portugal win back possession. João Neves. Dallo back at left back. Space for Vitinha to turn here down the left hand side, but he's not able to get free of Ndadi. Ruben Neves over to Nelson Semedo at right back for Portugal. It's a star-studded bench for Portugal as well if Martinez looks to change things up at half-time. We've all seen the strength in depth that France and Spain both have. Portugal are in that conversation as well. certainly from an attacking perspective. Conceição, Felix, Guedes. Estádio once again charges forward from left back, tries to cut it across the face of goal, and it's eventually just about cleared away by Nigeria. It's a belated offside flag raised over on the far side. Mateo Busquets happy to let it go. Initially Dalot too quick out of the traps that time. So Conceição, Felix, Guedes, Carlo Ramos, Bernardo Silva, Nuno Mendes, a left back of course by trade, but he's a supercharged weapon for PSG and Portugal. They can be pleased with their first half hour's work though, the home side. And created the better chances. Ronaldo could and probably should have put them 1-0 in front. Neto completing the job for him. Nigeria have carried a threat, but nothing really to overly concern Diogo Costa in between the Portuguese post. Dalot there is dragged backwards on the halfway line, and he pushed out at Nadi. I've seen a couple of instances like that where in a competitive game the referee might have viewed it through a different lens. Here's the goal scorer, Neto, on the charge over the halfway line. Space vacated down this left side. Tries to go for the ambitious 1-2 with Diogo Dalot. It's a hand up in apology from the Man United man as it spins out of play for a Nigeria goal kick. Okoye goes long. Adams is the target. He's sticking tightly to Ignacio. A little too tightly in the opinion of the referee. A free kick inside Portugal's penalty area. Between man and ball there, the Sporting Lisbon man. Grown into a real consistent operator in the last few years alongside Ruben Diaz. Big shoes to fill, of course, with Pepe stepping down from the national team. Not a player that can be replaced, of course, but that shows a real steady operator in the heart of that Portugal backline. Breakaway down Portugal's right again. Semedo with the pace to get away from Onyemachi. Onyemachi struggling there, and he is on a card. Goes chasing after Nelson Semedo. Needed a corner. That could potentially have been worse for Nigeria's left back. He's claiming there was no foul at all. Referee decides to land somewhere in the middle, and he has actually awarded a free kick. My apologies, it looked as if he'd given Onyemachi the benefit of the doubt. It'll be a free kick for Portugal over on the far right hand side, just in front of the corner flag, level with the 6-yard line. Neto will go across to take this. Diaz and Ignacio forward along with Ronaldo. Neto floats it into the near post, headed away, but only as far, only as far as Bruno Fernandes, and he hits that with some venom. Tipped over the bar by Okoye. Lands brilliantly there for Bruno Fernandes, and he puts his laces right through it. No chance taken by the Nigeria goalkeeper, Okoye. Tips it over his own bar for Portugal's first corner of the game. Fernandez will take. Floated in towards the 6-yard box. And Ronaldo goes after it. Doesn't get the contact he wanted. And that is a glance, the header in off the far post. It's not far off target, but it's another uncharacteristic miss for Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't think it'll be too long before he gets another goal though. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Ball in from Nigeria's right hand side by Deli Bashiru, cleared away. And then Didi fouls João Neves. Portugal try and build forward. Semedo pops that back into his own half. Tries to link with Trincao, and the two former Wolves teammates not quite on the same page there. Semedo goes chasing into Nigeria's half and fouls Ndidi. Here's Ajay. Drives into the centre circle, but then squared across to Akpan and back to Okoye. Chance for Nigeria to break away down the left-hand side. Lovely movement there from Simon. Ball into the 18-yard box is cleared away. Deli Bashiru wins his tussle initially with Vitinha, but that's unfortunate. Bounces against him, and Portugal can counter down the left-hand side. Neto chased backwards by Akpan. Good recovery that from Nigeria, back in numbers. Ajay and Ndidi. Lofted ball up to the halfway line towards Adams, doesn't stick again, and Neves has the chance to come forward here and work a shooting opportunity. A chance there for Portugal once more. Just flashes over the top of Okoye's crossbar. The glance at that England lineup, and there'll be lots of England fans listening along this evening, and then also to their clash with Costa Rica and wondering, is this the team Thomas Tuchel intends to start against Croatia on June the 17th? Take another glance at that just before half-time. Here come Nigeria again. Clearance over the halfway line, lovely. Powerful hold-up play there by Adams, and he's away. He's got past two defenders. Chance here for Akor Adams. Can he finish? Yes, he can! And Nigeria are level. Outstanding centre-forward play from the Sevilla man. And he hasn't always held the ball up to the required demand so far this evening, but he does brilliantly here. Again, it's Ignacio struggling to deal with the situation. Dallo comes across to lend a hand. And then when Diaz tries to step in, just inside Portugal's box, it's too little, too late. Deli Bashiru just toes it back to Akor Adams. And he fires it between the legs of Diogo Costa. And Nigeria, who've kept themselves in the game, are back on level terms before the break. Really good finish that. From Akor Adams. His 6th international goal and his 15th cap. Only 2 players in the current squad that have scored more goals for Nigeria than him now. Alex Iwobi with 10 and Moses Simon with 12. Decent season as well with Sevilla, 10 league goals in the Spanish top flight. That's exactly what Nigeria needed. Moving towards half-time, Portugal starting to build up a head of steam. Ronaldo having chances and wasting them. He wasn't going to miss many more. Adams there, just too strong for Ignacio, then for Dallo. You can see Ruben Diaz desperately trying to get across to deal with the situation. Benny Bashiru, don't know exactly how much he meant of that assist, but just manages to get enough on it away from Diaz, and then Adams does the rest. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half here. Neto's breakthrough cancelled out by Adams. So we can go back to that England lineup. Musing. Jordan Pickford in goal, James, Konza, Stones and O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly has forced Miles Lewis-Skelly out of the starting lineup and the squad for the World Cup. Reece James with no Kyle Walker, no Trent Alexander-Arnold, his first choice at right back. Central defence is a different story. Ezri Konza featured in 7 of England's 8 qualifiers. Mark Gay, who had a couple of injury issues at the start of the 24-25 season, is expected to take up one of those slots. And John Stones, who's only recently come back to fitness for City, is likely to be battling with Konza. Anderson and Rice, that's the preferred combination at the base of England's midfield. Jude Bellingham in the number 10, Kane up top, so might come down to the 2 wide positions. Thomas Tuchel was clear in his assessment that Bukayo Saka is not quite back to 100%. So his Arsenal teammate Noni Madueke has been given an opportunity this evening. Anthony Gordon, now of Barcelona, of course. On the opposite flank, Marcus Rashford is back as a Manchester United player after his 14 goals in Catalonia last season. A certain few weeks and months ahead for him. Barcelona reportedly still keen on a permanent deal for him, but they've made a real investment in Gordon, so how that plays out remains to be seen. 42 minutes gone here, as Neto is barged over on the halfway line. Deli Bashiru there just caught the wrong side of the ball and gets a telling off from the referee Mateo Busquets. Diaz works it over to Trincao on that right hand side, just in the Nigeria half of the field. Semedo had bombed beyond him momentarily. Checks back now. Vitinha will loft it on to that run for Semedo. Headed down. And floated in towards the far post. Cristiano Ronaldo was going after that one. And then the clearance from Ndidi is blocked away, and it'll be a throw-in for Nigeria in their right back position. Bruno Fernandes there. Is nodded away from Iwobi by Dallo. Trincao has gone down Inside the centre circle, Calvin Bassey with his arms all over him. It's a scrappy end to a pretty engaging first half here. Theo Busquets has been happy to let the majority of a few meaty challenges go, but as an edge starts to develop to proceedings, he does have to keep an eye on things. And Wobie tries to get away over on that far left-hand side. Really good recovery in the end by Bruno Fernandes. Back in covering for Ruben Diaz. Just wait on an update from the fourth official, Gustavo Correa. Fernandes just pops his studs on the ball, right on the centre circle for a moment, not happy with the movement up ahead of him. Rolled to the left back, Dallo. Tries to go for a quick 1-2 there with Neto. Popped off to Bruno Fernandes. Cristiano Ronaldo dropping deep 30 yards out. Flicked over to the right hand side and floated in by Trincao. Claimed with ease though by Okoye. We will have 3 additional minutes played here. Okoye just calling for calm from his defenders in front of him, Ajay, Calvin Bassey. As part of that really impressive run under Eric Chelle. Also had a bit of misfortune. They were very unlucky not to beat Poland in Warsaw, leading until the 5th minute of time added on. Conceded late as well in March against Jordan as they drew 2-2 in Turkey. And it is Nigeria who are pushing forward here in the final throes of the first half. And Didi with a bit of space to charge forward. It's a speculative effort that comes off the shins of Vitinha, and that will be a corner for the visitors. Final act of the first half will be Nigeria's. Ajay and Bassey both up from the back for this one. Teddy Bashiru again comes across. He's waved away the option of Simon to go short. Held in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, nodded away by Portugal, but worked back to Teddy Bashiru. We get another chance to float across in. Dallo immediately races out to close him down. Bassey to Simon. Ball will be tossed in eventually. Knocked down by Akor Adams. Eventually, Theo Busquets signals for offside. Here's Adams there. Just stepped slightly beyond Ruben Diaz. Quick clearance from Portugal from the restart. Neto is away here. And that's a brilliant recovery for Nigeria. Again, another delayed offside flag. Neto with pace to burn over the top, and in fairness to a recovering Nigerian defender, Akpan, he didn't know that. Gets back in, does his job. And that takes us over the 3 minutes of additional time as Mateo Busquets blows for the interval here in Portugal. Roberto Martinez's final test before the start of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And it's not been an easy ride for his team so far this evening. 2 big chances wasted by Cristiano Ronaldo either side of Pedro Neto's opener. But it's the man from Sevilla, Akor Adams, who's levelled things up for the Super Eagles at the break. And here on Flashscore, at half-time it is Portugal 1, Nigeria 1. involvement for Joao Cancelo. Zips away down the right hand side, tries to link with Conceição. Now Ronaldo, roll back, oh, there's the penalty here for Ruben Neves. And that is a dipping effort, turned over the crossbar by Okoye. But my apologies, that was actually João Felix. All those changes, they are still just adjusting. Felix rockets that one on target. Okoye, not overly convincing, but manages to just about claw it over the top of his own crossbar. The first corner of the second half for Portugal. Over on that far left-hand side. Conceição darts over to offer the short option for Cancelo. It is played short and then floated in by Cancelo. Headed away, there's the penalty, Felix again! And that is an absolutely astonishing save from Okoye. If he gets a touch on this, he goes back off the woodwork. Joao Felix, in the first 3 minutes of the second half, has drawn an absolutely brilliant pair of saves from Okoye. Both of them relatively unconventional. We'll grab a replay of that in just a moment, but certainly on first glance it looks as if Okoye gets a hand on it to turn it onto the crossbar. Portugal players are claiming that as it's bounced back off the woodwork, that it crossed the line. The referee Mateo Busquets is confirming, as per his alert, that the whole ball didn't go behind, so it stays at 1 each. And Okoye does get the faintest of touches on that one. And Joao Felix can't have done much more in his battle to score tonight and force his way into Roberto Martinez's lineup. 5 minutes gone here in the Portuguese city of Leiria. We are also underway finally in Orlando. Absolutely wild rain in the United States. Portugal right on the front foot here at the start of the second period. Here's Nuno Mendes. Races onto that through ball down the left-hand side. Joao Felix, first time across to Cristiano Ronaldo, who again swings and misses right on the penalty spot. It was Semedo on the right-hand side that laid one on a plate for him in the first half. Mendes this time, it is a little behind him. He just can't hook his foot around. Flies off target. Nigeria up against it here. Those Portuguese changes have added a bit of freshness and zip to Martinez's team. We do, of course, have live audio coverage of England against Costa Rica if you're sticking with us. It was a late night for you. England fans have had to be patient. It's a reminder, of course, that the weather could very well be a real factor at this World Cup. Ball out from left back there by Nigeria. Onyemachi seized on by Joao Felix, who's drifted into a bit of central area. Samuel Costa has moved wide to allow him to link with Ronaldo through the middle. Nigeria finally get a bit of a reprieve on halfway as Simon is fouled by Ruben Neves. some of the Portuguese players are still discussing that João Felix goal that wasn't with the referee. Eric Shelley's side haven't really been able to get a foothold in the game since we got back underway. Wobie there as well, just to retain the ball inside the centre circle. Now Ndidi tries to feed Nadi away down the right hand side, but it's cut out by Portugal. Sometimes when there's so many changes made in a friendly, it can disrupt the flow of a team, but all of these Portuguese players know that they're fighting for a starting spot to take on DR Congo in a week's time. Cristiano Ronaldo is probably the only player 100% sure of his starting position. There's a few virtual nailed on. As I mentioned in the first half, the two fullback positions, the two wide areas, still be up for grabs. Come again. Getting down the left flank this time. Neves linking on the edge of the penalty area, back with Conceição. He's a little box of tricks. Can he get away? Down the right hand side, rolled for Cancelo, hung in towards the far post. And headed over the top of the crossbar by João Felix. They've slipped into gear. The refreshed right flank of Cancelo and Conceição. We've seen too much of Bernardo Silva since he's been introduced. Gets that floating midfield role. The bulk of the defensive work, of course, will be done by a man in possession here, Ruben Neves. Fed off to Thomas Araujo. Cancelo just spent most of the second half so far in Nigeria's half of the field. Here's Conceição trying to pin Onyemashi. Drives away from him, but he's tracked to the dead ball line. Good defending there from the Nigeria left back. The ball forward though is instantly cut out. That was sloppy from Ndadi. Now Cancelo. And eventually cleared away once more by Onyemachi. Portugal in firm control, but after that initial excitement for the two opportunities falling at the feet of João Felix, haven't created anything since. Nigeria changes are incoming. Eric Shelley in conversation with his coaching staff. Jai does really well just to sprint back and track the run of Nuno Mendes, who's raided forward from left back beyond the 18-yard line. Just gets himself across to shield it away. Eventually, Nigeria win it, throw in over in their right back spot. Tere Moffi and Paul Onuachu, two attacking names that catch the eye on Nigeria's bench. Frank Onyeka as well, former Bournemouth man. Summer after spending the season on loan at Coventry. Coventry, of course, promoted to the Premier League under Frank Lampard's watch, so I look to bring him back. By Roberto Martinez, so that would indicate that Cristiano Ronaldo will only do an hour's work tonight. He's had two glorious chances and one slightly unfortunate one. Hasn't been his night, and an individual as driven as him won't be happy to be heading off without a goal. Hasn't actually scored for Portugal since the 2-2 qualifying draw with Hungary back in October. Drew a blank against Ireland in November, and then missed the 9-1 hammering of Armenia after his sending off at the Aviva Stadium. Trincao and Felix on target in the 2-0 win over the USA in March, and then Guedes and Fernandez, who edged out a victory against Chile last week. Before Ronaldo is applauded off here, there's going to be a quartet of Nigeria changes to work through. So as expected, Tere Moffi is one of those players ushered on. He'll replace Moses Simon. Frank Onyeka for Deli Bashiru. Onuachu will replace the captain Wilfred Ndidi. Christian Akpan is also being ushered off. He's headed off over on the far side. Just going to check on who was replacing him. It's Abdullah Benwi. Bold change that from Chile. Sees the opportunity to maybe pinch a goal here on Onuachu and Moffi. Can make that 5 changes as Jai also heads off. He'll be replaced by Zaidu Sanusi. Given a pick up by his manager there on his way to the bench. Will those alterations give Nigeria a bit more of a foothold in the game and try and dictate to Portugal for a few moments at least? Nice little swivel and turn on halfway there from Nadi. Nigeria just about managed to keep the ball. It was sloppy initially. Iwobi takes over, drives through the middle of the pitch here. Ruben Neves will chase him into the left channel. Shishao forces the ball back in field though. Iwobi takes over again down this left-hand side. Rolled into the feet of Zanussi. He runs into a bit of Portuguese traffic on the edge of their penalty area though. The clearance is hammered away. Almost kept in play over on the far side by Iweni. Nuno Mendes though, quick about his business to get the clearance. Ronaldo tries to steal a march over the top. Ten minutes gone in Orlando. No goals. England 0. Costa Rica 0. Just one attempt on target so far. Jude Bellingham effort deflected behind for a corner. We'll keep you updated on any changes in that one. Nadi, who's moved centrally after those substitutions for Nigeria. Roll through the centre circle. Alex Iwobi again, a bit more freedom for him now. The creative fulcrum for Nigeria. Bassi back on the halfway line. He has remained in place. Sanusi has stayed forward down this near left-hand side. He's certainly not afraid to push himself forward. Again, it's another ball in the direction of Moffi that is won back by a combination of Arauco and Renato Vega. And Onyemachi is fouled on the halfway line by Cristiano Ronaldo, and then Conchishao. And that is the end of the night for Cristiano Ronaldo. Carlo Ramos will play out the final 25 minutes. It means that all 10 of Roberto Martinez's starting outfield players have now been withdrawn. Diogo Costa, the only remaining figure out there. And England do have a goal. Seventh goal for the Three Lions for Rice. Despite the huge focus on the poor weather going into that game, England have started strongly. Chile has just been spoken to here by the fourth official, Gustavo Correa. Not happy with a few of the Portuguese challenges that have been thrown in. I wonder if Costa will last the game. Jose Sá and Rui Silva both on the bench. Sá, who started the win over Chile. So we could see a complete refit from top to bottom before the final whistle here tonight. So 67 minutes gone, no change in the scoreline. If you are joining us for the second half here on Flash Court. Have a concern here just in front of their own penalty area. Tochuku Nadi has dropped to the turf and he's going to need some treatment potentially. Referee Busquets has called a halt to proceedings for the moment. He's claiming he was caught in the face by João Cancelo. referee sees too much in that one. And Nadi helped back to his feet. And the referee will take this opportunity to signal a hydration break. The second half's mid-range interval, 68 minutes gone. As the players take a break, we will also take a short little step away from the action. And we'll be back in just a moment. Latest score, Portugal 1. So welcome back to the final stages of this international friendly here on Flash Score. Portugal 1, Nigeria 1. 20 minutes to go at the Estádio de Magalhães Pessoa. Raft of changes from both managers either side of the start of the second half, and Portugal benefiting from it initially. They've been a little disjointed after Nigeria's own alterations. Nice turn away on halfway by Calvin Bassey, who's caught there by João Felix, who kicks the ball away. And that would be a card for the former Atletico Madrid striker. Just hacks at the ankle. Give Busquets too much of a choice, and Nigeria will restart inside the centre circle. Ball played up towards Mofi. He's knocked back to his goalkeeper by Thomas Arauco. Clearance was a little half-hearted though. Good recovery there from Samu Costa inside his own box. Onyeka trying to burst forward there. Be a throw-in for Nigeria down the right-hand side, just in front of the corner flag. Taken quickly. Wendy trying to make strides past Samu. Just gets himself back in position to see that behind for a Portugal goal kick. Here's João Cancelo. Just pops in field from right back to Bernardo Silva, who's, I believe, taken the armband following the withdrawal of Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, the player in the squad with over 100 caps. His 109th appearance for the national team tonight. Cancelo and Conceição link coming down this right hand side again, floated in by the latter, headed away inside Nigeria's box by Bassi. Silva thought about the shot but rolls it back to Conceição, right on the corner of Nigeria's penalty area. Floated in, cleared away again by that Nigerian defensive wall. It was Neves that time. Just couldn't get enough lift on it to trouble Bassi. England still a goal ahead. Quarter of the game gone there. Declan Rice with the opener for Thomas Tuchel's team. Samu finds Cancelo, always eager to dart forward from right back over the halfway line into the feet of Conceição. Cancelo wants the 1-2. Roll back to the Barcelona man. Now Felix, midway inside Nigeria's half, just slightly right of centre, tries to pop a pass off to Conceição. Just a little short on options there. Samu as he pivoted away. Portugal here, nice patient possession. Conceição again, trying to tease a challenge as he steps in from the right hand side and bullets home. Superb bit of individual brilliance from Francisco Conceição. His 4th goal for Portugal. And just as the hosts were dragging Nigeria from side to side, Conceição does what he does best. Stops dead, stands up the fullback. Gets away from Zanussi. He's just caught too static there at left back, steps inside the box. Only one thing on his mind here, wraps that left foot around it and fired across goal into Okoye's bottom corner. And Portugal are back in front here. Ronaldo rises to applaud on the bench. So just another reminder, in case it is needed, the World Cup gets up and running tomorrow evening. It's an 8 PM start for fans in the UK. We will have live audio coverage of Mexico against South Korea at the Estádio Azteca. It'll be a busy few weeks. 48 teams involved for the first time in history. 12 groups, that means every side who finishes in the top 2 will qualify for the new round of 32, plus 8 of the best 3rd place sides. There will be a lot of teams looking at this and thinking, if they can just win one game, they'll have a different type of pressure for them. Firm favourites to win Group K, and taking on two teams who've never played in a World Cup before. I beg your pardon. One team who haven't, Uzbekistan. DR Congo previously in the 1974 World Cup, my mistake. Colombia side who've Nigeria are starting to rattle Portugal a little here. Renato Veiga claiming that he was dragged back there as he tries to play out from the edge of his own box. Moffey was chasing him down, not giving him a moment's peace. The referee here just stopped play for a moment because Nigeria want to make another change. The intensity of this game has just dropped ever so slightly after that superb goal from Conceição. Long ball pumped forward for Joao Felix to chase here, but he's well shackled by Bueni. Sees it back to his goalkeeper. He was rushed in his clearance there as Nigeria want to get moving forward, and Joao Felix is brought down this time. That is a clear foul against him. Referee quick on the scene there. It was Onyedika. A chance for Portugal here. No Ronaldo in situ, of course. 30 to 35 yards from goal, just slightly off to the left. There's Ruben Neves who stands over it. Goes for the cross, a deep ball towards the far post, which is eventually poked. Opportunity to strike at goal so far since coming on, the PSG man. Corner work short, Silva back to Cancelo, floating in towards the far post. Big save from Okoye. There's Samu Costa there, who just snuck in at round the back. Scuffed an effort into the ground, and Okoye just sticks out a leg to block him. There's some grappling going on with Onyedike. Okoye gets it away for Nigeria. So 5 minutes to go, and another change for the visitors. Samuel Chukwueze is on in place of Nadi. Completing a Fulham trio alongside Iwobi and Bassi. Now they're just penalised for a foul. Sanusi tries to race away from him. I beg your pardon, that was the wrong update that we got on that change. Samuel Chukwueze is actually not involved in the squad. It's Emmanuel Fernandez who's brought on for Nadi. Silva tries to roll a pass into the feet of Ramos on the edge of Nigeria's box. Ramos is eased off it though. Pumped up towards the halfway line. Nice flick on there. Chance here for Nigeria. It's a 2-on-1. They just can't quite get the pass off. Go for another correction because it is Samuel Chukwueze. It was Fernandez's number that was held up. It was Chukwueze who was ushered on. My apologies for that, so many changes. But it is most definitely Samuel Chukwueze on because he's just been bundled over by Samu Costa in the middle of Portugal's half of the field. So we're back to 3 Fulham players on the field of play for Nigeria. 10 minutes to go in Orlando. So Declan Rice's goal separating England and Costa Rica. We have 3 minutes of normal time still to play here. Conceição, he's the difference maker at this point. Races away down the right hand side. Felix tries to angle across into the penalty area. Nodded back to Okoye though. I think Nigeria are going to go for a full house of changes in the final couple of minutes. Otene is ready to come on. Just get one chance on Owachu. Moffi haven't managed to really wrestle away from Vega or Araujo. comes Hisham, who steps back into his own half momentarily, covering in front of Cancelo at right back. Araujo squares it back to his goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. Magalhães Nunez, who was thrust on rather unexpectedly to replace Nuno Mendes. He's played a lot of his football at fullback this season for Manchester City. He's had a bit of a roving role since he's come on here. Samuel Costa has moved into a more defensive role and allowed him to push forward. Nuno Mendes is taking his place on the substitutes bench and is deep in conversation with his captain Cristiano Ronaldo, so you would hope that that means whatever injury forced him off wasn't too serious. Move into the final minutes of the 90. And it is Otele on for Iwobi. Applauded off by the pocket of Nigeria fans that are here. The popular player for Eric Chele's team. Gustavo Correa out with the board, so we are about to head into additional time here. Bit of defending for Portugal to do, midway inside their own half. Sweeping pass backwards. Possession eventually worked back to the goalkeeper, Okoye. Sloppy there as Nigeria tries to play out from the back. On the edge of their own box, Goncalo Ramos steps across. Wins a throw in for Portugal. Pushed down this near right flank. As the board goes up for 4 minutes of additional time. Now still plugging away here, Nigeria. Roberto Martinez out on the edge of his technical area, driving his players on. He knows late equaliser here is not what they would want. Samuel Costa does really well there, scrapping away inside the centre circle, but he's taking a whack in the side of the face for his dribbles. Imposing figure of Onuachu there, battling away. Decision goes in favour of the Portugal midfielder. Good recovery over there, right back to prevent a corner for Portugal. Chukwueze, who's been shoved in as a de facto fullback after that flood of changes. João Cancelo, who's moved over to the left-hand side after Nunez came on. Take the throw in right in front of the corner flag. Portugal just looking to keep possession, wind down the clock for the final few seconds here. 2 of the additional 4 minutes have been played. Here comes Zanussi flying forward from left back, trying to carve out one more opportunity for Nigeria. Feeds it in field, but Nigeria not able to hold on to it for the moment. Forced to go backwards. Onyedika on the halfway line, pinged from right to left by Chukwueze, but headed away by Magalhães Nunez. Sanusi goes in hard and late there. That'll be a card for him. Just inside Portugal's half of the field, it's a loose bouncing ball and he catches Conceição. This will allow Portugal just a nudge closer to wrapping up this result. Back-to-back friendly wins for Roberto Martinez going into the tournament. Just one defeat in qualification. They are in good form. The real business of the World Cup is just around the corner. And a 5th international tournament for the Spanish coach. Second in charge of Portugal. One last throw of the dice here for Nigeria. We are beyond the 4 minutes that were originally flashed up. Possession given away on the halfway line. Here is Conceição. Stumbles over his own feet though as he charges over the halfway line. Now Bernardo Silva offers a passing route down this near right hand side. And Mateo Busquets gives the signal. And the full-time whistle blows here at the Estádio Magalhães Pessoa. And full time on Portugal's final game before the World Cup kicks off tomorrow evening. And it's a business-like performance from Roberto Martinez's side. Pedro Neto's smart finish in the first half cancelled out by Akor Adams. And then a firecracker off the bench from Sergio Conceição means that Portugal march into the World Cup with a win. No goal for Cristiano Ronaldo. He'll have to wait for the tournament in itself. But it's full time here on Flash Score. Portugal 2, Nigeria 1.